Hello there. Welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here and 4Ks, and today I have a lot of stuff to discuss. Much of which I have not fully got a chance to see, but it's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of interesting things happening from labels like Radiance and Eureka and 88 Films and Visual Vengeance, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And of course, one of the big ones is from Blue Underground, and they continue to do really interesting upgrades of titles that they have put out in the past. And the one I'm looking at today is Venom. Of course, not the Tom Hardy movie. This is a film from, I want to say 1981, if I recall. And it's, or is that too late? Just because, yeah, no, it's 81. This is a fascinating movie. As you can see from the cover there, it says, "The mystery of the birds, the danger of Psycho, the evil of the Omen, the terror of Jaws, now the ultimate in suspense." And it's a really rare case of a movie that is both a kidnapping film, thriller, and it's also kind of an animal attacks movie. So it's definitely in a slot that I respond to. I mean, I like kidnapping thrillers. Kidnapping is dumb, let's just be honest. And so as a movie plot, I'm always kind of annoyed by it. But when you throw in the cast that this movie has and you throw in animal attacks, then you got something really interesting. So behind the drapes, behind the walls, in your bed, a thriller to make your skin crawl. It was supposed to be The Perfect Crime, the sexy maid, Susan George. They mentioned Straw Dogs. She's also of Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry fame, and just a great actress of, the 70s and 80s to a degree. Big fan of her. Tarantino's a big fan of her. Psychotic chauffeur, Oliver Reed. An international terrorist, Klaus Kinski, kidnap a wealthy 10-year-old boy from his elegant London townhouse, but they didn't count on a murdered cop, a desperate hostage siege, and one very unexpected house guest. And that's a black mamba snake, just so you know. A furious black mamba, the most lethal and aggressive snake known to nature. It can attack from 10 feet away. Its bite brings excruciating death, and it is on the loose in the house. Now, terror knows no antidote. The ultimate in slithering mayhem is Venom. Also starring in this is Sterling Hayden from many films. I always think of him from Doctor Strangelove and Long Goodbye, but he did a ton of stuff. Nicole Williamson from Excalibur, Sarah Miles. They all co-star. It's based on a best-selling novel by author Alan Schoenfeld, directed by Pierce Haggard, who did Blood on Satan's Claw, which Severin put out a while ago, and I think is out of print now. But Blue Underground is now proud to present Venom in a brand new restoration, scanned in 4K 16-bit from its 35mm interpositive with Dolby Vision HDR and new Dolby Atmos audio mix, which is a good mix, by the way, packed with revealing extras. And this is packed. Now, I'm not sure. Oh, there are some new. They do list some of these as new, and I guess I just don't remember what was on the previous release. But just to give you an idea of the packaging, we have the Blu-ray and the 4K in here, and we also have a booklet. But yeah, it does have an essay. Does it say who? Doesn't say on the back who did the essay, so I will look. Cast and crew listed. Michael Gingold did the essay on this. Very cool. So yeah, looks good. Blue Underground, one of the companies that does 4K right for my money, and this is solid. Dolby Atmos mix. There's a 5.1 mix, a 2.0 mix. Subtitles. There is an audio comment. Actually, two audio commentaries. One is from Piers Haggard, the director, and then another that's listed as new, with film historians Troy Horwath, Nathaniel Thompson, and Eugenio Orcolani. A good trio for this movie for sure. And a bunch of new little featurette interviews. Thanks for the Memories interview with editor, second unit director Michael Bradsell. A Slithery Story interview with makeup artist Nick Dudman. Mamba Memories interview with author and critic Kim Newman. I always love to hear Kim Newman talking about anything, but this particular movie is definitely an entertaining thing for him to speak on. And then something called Pick Your Poison interview with the Dark Side's Alan Bryce. And yeah, so it's a good solid one. Like even has sort of a embossed, like raised text on the slip cover, which is cool. But yeah, I'm a fan of this. I definitely recommend this if you like wacky movies that combine animal attacks with other genres, and I do. Okay, so moving on to Visual Vengeance, a really interesting company putting out a lot of lesser known stuff. They have been around for a minute. I feel like I've talked about them a little bit. I have their disc of The Abomination and Slaughter Day, and can't remember the other ones, but they've put out some really interesting stuff. Some of it's shot on video, some of it's not. This is Furious, and this film is from 1984. I mean, the back says, mystic aliens from the astral planet fight kung fu heroes for control of the universe. So, I mean, you could say it's like, boy, it's not like too much. You can throw it in the categories with something like Miami Connection, but it's different. It's more surreal. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's a movie that had a reputation before this release, obviously, and they and Visual Vengeance have done a really nice job releasing it. It's a SD master from the original tape elements, but it looks pretty good for what it is, and so it's just nice to have this in a decent format. Like, this movie was just really hard to see. There might have been a rip on YouTube, I don't remember, but they've got a lot of extras here, but I'll just go through how they classify it. Cult martial arts classic, available for the first time ever on Blu-ray with hours of bonus features. Simon, a fierce kung fu master, ventures into the city's grim and gritty underbelly for answers to his sister's death. There, a cunning spiritual master deceives him, plotting to snatch his piece of an ancient amulet he shared with her. Unraveling the scheme, Simon plunges his fists and feet first into a bone-crushing battle for the fate of the world against an alien army of karate wizards, dragons, and a new wave clone band, talking pigs, and mystical chickens. I mean, that really does give you an idea of what you're in for. If that sounds up your alley, this is well worth picking up. It is bizarre. There's not a ton of dialogue in it. It's much more of a visual movie. But some interesting martial arts action and just surreal weirdness. And I like surreal weirdness. So, yeah, I was excited that this got a nice release from Visual Vengeance. One of the most bizarre domestic martial arts movies ever made. Furious throws the 1980s home video chopsocky craze in a blender with elements of the supernatural, horror, and superhero genres by way of improvised MTV video, featuring Hollywood martial arts legends Simon and Philip Rhee, the best of the best, The Matrix, Inception, in their first ever starring roles, and who also handled all the nonstop action choreography on display in the film. And it is pretty nonstop. Region-free archival commentary with co-director Tim Everett, which is cool. It's neat to hear the story. This is definitely a movie you want to hear some stories about, because you're just like, what is, how, huh? So yeah, and he's a down to earth, well-spoken dude. So it's a good commentary. There's also a commentary with Justin Decloux of the Important Cinema Club and Peter Kaplowski of the Toronto International Film Festival. Fun track. High Kicking in Hollywood co-director Tom Sartori interview. North American No Budget Martial Arts Center Cinema Primer. Justin Decloux. That's Justin Decloux's video essay that's included here. He's obviously a fan of this film. Ree Brothers career overview. Also a video essay by Justin Decloux. Very cool. He, of course, of Gold Ninja Video. Definitely check out his label, Gold Ninja Video. GoldNinjaVideo.com. Always putting out some interesting, sometimes shot on video, but lower budget, off the radar kind of stuff, and very interesting. Anyway, the Kung Fu Kid co-director Tim Everett interview. North American No Budget. I already went through that. Both the Justin Decloux essays, archival Scarecrow video podcast with Tim Everett. That's cool that they have that. Furious New Wave Band behind the scenes Super 8 footage. Scorched Earth Policy full 6-song EP. Cinema Face live in concert 1986. Tom Sartori 1980s music video reel. Tom Sartori Super 8 short films reel. Limited edition slipcase by the Dude. Limited edition Throwing Star key tag, first pressing only, so that may not be still available, but you have this Throwing Star and some cool stickers that come inside, which is great, and two-sided insert with alternate artwork, and the Stick Your Own VHS sticker set, which is what I just showed you. So yeah, really nice release, well curated and done by Visual Vengeance. Definitely a cool company. One more from them. We have Dinosaur Valley Girls, excuse me. And this one is from 1996, and it says a Hollywood action movie star is zapped back to a world of dangerous dinosaurs, grunting cavemen, and a tribe of exotic, love-starved cave girls. Dinosaur Valley Girls enjoys its first time ever on Blu-ray and is packed with hours of new archival bonus features. Chain-smoking Hollywood action movie star Tony Markham is zapped back in time via magic artifact to a prehistoric world of flesh-hungry dinosaurs, angry cavemen, and a tribe of exotic, love-starved cave girls, as I said. He must use his modern-day machismo and best karate moves to survive the onslaught of Jurassic terrors while wooing the literal cave girl of his dreams, Heather. Produced, written, and directed by film pioneer, Marvel Comics scribe, and Star Wars novelist Don Glutt, Dinosaur Valley Girls playfully and skillfully dives headfirst into the subject matter, including creating a completely new language for the titular tarts. What could have easily been just a typical late-night slot filler on Skinemax becomes an epic world-building adventure complete with stop-motion dinosaurs, original music numbers, off-the-wall cameos, and more dad jokes than you can shake an Allosaurus bone at. Yeah, fun stuff, for sure. Region-free, remastered, director-approved SD master from original tape elements. New 2023... commentary with director Don Glutt and C. Courtney Joyner, and then there's an archival audio commentary with Don Glutt and C. Courtney Joyner. So you have two with the two of them. Then you have Dinosaur Valley Guy, an interview with director Don Glutt. Don Glutt, The Collection, a look inside Don's legendary Dinosaur Home Museum. The Making of Dinosaur Valley Girls alternate PG-13 rated cut, deleted and alternate scenes, actress audition reels, Dinosaur Tracks music video reel, Jurassic Punk music and lyrics, Dinosaur Valley Girls music and lyrics, storyboards, production image galleries, Mr. Wang in Museum, Mu Wang in Dance Prehistoric, promotional trailer, limited essays, limited slipcase by Rick Melton, folded mini poster. It also has the Stick Your Own VHS sticker set. fascinating stuff, and a movie that I think there are some people who probably don't know this one. These are both all region, by the way. And is that Karen Black? My goodness. Okay. Quaxer Fortune has a cousin in the Bronx. Now, this is a little bit of a gear shift. This is from VCI, and it's one of those sort of... It is a cult movie, but I feel like it's so fallen off the radar for so many folks that it's hard to even call it that, although I think it still has its following. But it says, reminiscent of Harold and Maude and Start the Revolution Without Me, this gentle comedy is the story of a man out of step with his world, marching the beat of his own drum. Quaxer Fortune, that's Gene Wilder, earns his living by following the horse-drawn delivery wagons of Dublin, scooping up the droppings and selling it as fertilizer. Margot Kidder is an American exchange student who finds herself drawn to this unlearned but not unknowing man. So it's one of those sort of unconventional 70s romances, almost a May-December kind of thing, because, he definitely is older than her, and she's this American exchange student, free spirit, and it's just fascinating as this guy, this very anachronistic dude, walking around with a cart that he can put the horse poop in. And so that's sort of underlying everything, and it becomes a romance of like, we're from two different worlds, star-crossed in a way. But it's cute at times, definitely dramatic at others. An interesting showcase for the two actors if you're a fan of both of them. But a movie that has not had a Blu-ray to this point, so this is a nice surprise. It's got a commentary track by Robert Kelly, artist, reviewer, and film buff extraordinaire that I want to check out. But yeah, that's Quaxer Fortune, Has a Cousin in the Bronx, a very interesting off-the-radar cult movie. Then we have some stuff from Radiance, always doing interesting things with their releases. I do think their box sets are particularly spectacular. So 3 pulp thrillers in the spirit of Dirty Harry and Jean-Pierre Melville from director Alain Corneau, starring acting royalty from France, is kind of the pitch on this. As their popularity waned in the U.S., the hardboiled genre remained hugely popular and relevant throughout the 1960s and 70s in France, thanks to the successful série noir imprint and a succession of new translations. In Alain Corneau's early films, he sought to continue the noir tradition in his native France and was both directly and indirectly inspired by titans of the hardboiled genre, including Kenneth Fearing and Jim Thompson, a heady combination of classic noir and 70s grit. These 3 darkly thrilling films are vastly underrated and important works in the canon of crime cinema. So what's included here is Police Python 357, A Hell of a Woman, and In Choice of Arms. In Police Python 357, Yves Montand, who is of course in Wages of Fear, among others, plays a tough cop who, when his lover is found murdered, finds himself implicated in her death and a battle of wits with a powerful rival. In the second screen adaptation of Kenneth Fearing's The Big Clock. So I don't know if this... No Way Out, of course, is another adaptation of The Big Clock with Kevin Costner. I'm not sure. I guess this is coming after No Way Out, but no, it has to be before because it's 76 to 81. Anyway, série noir adapts Jim Thompson's A Hell of a Woman to the Banyuls of Paris. In an astonishing performance, Peter DeWare attempts to save a young girl from prostitution with murder the only solution. So that's A Hell of a Woman. And then in Choice of Arms, Yves Montand heads an all-star cast, including Catherine Deneuve and Gerard Depardieu, as a former crook pulled out of retirement when a gang on the run turned to him for shelter after a prison break. High-definition digital transfers presented on all 3 discs. Audio commentary by Mike White on Police Python 357. Maxim Jakubowski on Police Python 357's source novel and adaptation. Archival interview with Alan Corneau and Francois Pierre about Police Python 357 from Belgian television in 1976. Série Noire set interviews with Alan Corneau, Patrick Dewar, and Miriam Boyer from Belgian television from 1981. And Série Noire, The Darkness of the Soul, an archival documentary featuring cast and crew on the making of the film from 2013. It's 53 minutes. Plus an archival interview with Alan Corneau and Marie Trintignant about Série Noire, 2002, 30 minutes. Visual essay about Jim Thompson adaptations for the screen. Introduction by documentary filmmaker Jerome Wybon. Shooting... Choice of Arms, interviews with cast and crew, including behind-the-scenes footage, 1981. Interviews with Deneuve, Montand, and Depardieu from the set from 1981. Interview with Manuela Lazic and Yves Montand in the 1970s. Optional English subtitles for each film. Reversible sleeve. Limited 80-page booklet featuring new writing by Charlie Brigden, Andrew Mail, Nick Pinkerton, Travis Woods, friend of mine, and a newly translated archival interviews with Alan Corneau. Limited to 2,500 copies, presented in a rigid box with full-height Scanavo cases and removable OB strip, which is one of their sort of signatures that I love. But I do love this hard box. And so when they say 80-page booklet, I mean, this is a book, folks. This is a full-on book, and all three films are housed in one case, like so. Yeah. So wait. So Série Noire, Choice of Arms. I was saying Hell of a Woman. Série Noire is Hell of a Woman. I mean, Hell of a Woman is Série Noire. Yeah, very, very cool stuff. This is region A and B locked. But a lovely set from Radiance. Following that up, we have another from Radiance, The Cat. This one is from 1988, German language film. Two robbers hold up a bank and its employees demanding 3 million marks for their ransom. The police plot to storm the bank, but are unaware of the robbers have an accomplice on the outside, anticipating their every move. Genre master Dominic Graff specialized in crime films, and The Cat is one of the greatest, a heist film of the highest order. It grabs you from its opening scenes and doesn't let go. Winner of the Best Direction at the German Film Awards, The Cat is an undiscovered treasure, and Radiance Films is proud to present the Blu-ray for the first time outside of Germany. New digital high-definition transfer, newly graded by Radiance Films and overseen by director Dominic Graff. There's an interview with director Dominic Graff, which is 62 minutes long, so a nice lengthy interview with the director. Interview with screenwriter Christoph Fromm, that's 31 minutes. Interview with producer Georges Fail, 31 minutes. Select scene commentary by Dominic Graff. New English subtitle translation, reversible sleeve, limited edition, 3,000 copies. Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice set here for The Cat from 1988, a movie that I did not know at all. Just like I did not know The Eel, which is the next Radiance title I'm going to talk about, and this one is from 1997. After serving time in prison for murdering his unfaithful wife, Yamashita, Koji Yakusho from Perfect Days and Cure, is released on parole and accompanied by only his pet eel. Hoping to stay out of trouble, he takes over a rural barbershop that quickly becomes a gathering point for the eccentric locals. However, the discovery of a woman's failed suicide starts a chain reaction that bring back past demons and not just his own. The Eel won master filmmaker Shohei Imamura his second Palme d'Or after 1983's The Ballad of Narayama, and was the breakthrough of its star Yakusho. Koji Great performance in Perfect Days, so I am very curious about this one. High definition digital transfer, uncompressed mono PCM audio. Interview with critic Tony Raines. Interview with screenwriter Daisuke Tengen. Visual essay by Tom Mess on the year 1997 as a turning point in Japanese cinema. Newly improved English subtitle translation. Reversible sleeve. Limited edition booklet featuring an archival interview with Imamura. Limited to 3,000 copies. This and The Cat are both region A and B locked. So you're aware of that. Moving on to some Eureka stuff. This is a pretty cool one that I'm dying to check out. Mabusa Lives, Dr. Mabusa at CCC 1960 to 1964. This is a box set that includes The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabusa, Testament of Dr. Mabusa, The Return of Dr. Mabusa, Scotland Yard Hunts Dr. Mabusa, The Invisible Dr. Mabusa, The Death Ray, and The Death Ray of Junior Mabusa. So like 1, 2, 3, 6 movies. The Masters of Cinema series is honored to collect all 6 of the 1960s Mabusa films together in this set. Fritz Lang made 2 of the defining works of early German cinema with Dr. Mabusa, The Gambler, and The Testament of Dr. Mabusa. 2 masterpieces centered on Norbert Jacques' nefarious literary supervillain. In 1960, Lang was charged by Arthur Bronner's CCC film with making a 3rd crime thriller centered on the famous Dr. Mabusa, completing a trilogy nearly 40 years in the making. A huge success, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabusa gave CCC the confidence to launch into an entire series focused on the master criminal between 1960 and 64. All starring Wolfgang Price in the title role. All 6 films are presented here alongside a wealth of new and archival extras. In Fritz Lang's final film, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabusa, the eponymous master of disguise, Price reemerges in the Cold War era after a lengthy absence and uses all manner of methods to incite murder and mayhem. The return of Dr. Mabusa sees him use brainwashed prison inmates to commit a litany of crimes while evading the German authorities and the FBI. In The Invisible Dr. Mabusa, he seeks to use an amazing new invention, a device that renders the user invisible to his own ends. The Testament of Dr. Mabusa, a remake of Lang's earlier film, has the German police tying themselves in knots, trying to figure out how their adversary could be continuing his reign of terror from inside an asylum. And Scotland Yard hunts Dr. Mabusa. Mabusa's tentacles begin to creep across the English Channel. Finally, in the death ray of Dr. Mabusa, sorry, not Junior, the criminal mastermind comes to possess a weapon capable of unleashing untold destruction. Directed by Fritz Lang, Harold Reinl, Werner Klinger, Paul May, and Hugo Fregonese. The CCC Mabusa series continues Fritz Lang's legacy. The Masters of Cinema series is honored to collect all 6 films, as it says. High-definition 2K restorations and available for the first time on Blu-ray in the U.S. Limited to 2,000 copies. Limited edition hardbound slipcase featuring the new artwork of Tony Stella, who is a great artist of everything, but certainly does a wonderful job with movie posters and design for stuff like this. It's just, the artwork is fantastic. I love it. 1080p presentations of all 6 films from 2K restorations undertaken by CCC. Original German audio and optional English dubs on select films. English subtitles. Archival audio commentary on Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabusa by film historian and author David Callett. New audio commentaries in the other 5 films by film historian and author David Callett. Mabusa Lives at CCC. New interview with producer and managing director of the CCC film, Alice Bronner, daughter of CCC founder Arthur Bronner. New introductions to each film by genre film expert and video watchdog founder Tim Lucas. Wonderful. Great addition. Criminology with a K. New video essay by David Cairns and Fiona Watson. 2002 interview with actor Wolfgang Price, alternate endings for The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabusa and Death Ray of Dr. Mabusa, plus a limited edition 60-page collector's book featuring new notes on each film by journalist Holger Hasse and new essay by German film scholar Tim Bergfelder, an archival essay by David Cairns, archival writing by Fritz Langs, and notes by Lottie Esner on... let's see. Yeah, so that's this lovely Mabusa set. Really nice stuff from Eureka. Continuing with them, we have The Legend of the Eight Samurai. And this film is from 1983, it would appear. And Japanese box office sensation, directed by the revered Kinji Fukasaku, Battle Royale, among many others. Legend of the Eight Samurai brings together an impressive ensemble cast, including Hiroko Yakishimura, Hiroyuki Sanada, Sonny Chiba, and Etsuko Shihomi, in a sweeping epic that blends fantasy with historical drama. The Satomi clan have been all but wiped out by their immortal enemies, the ghoulish members of the undead Hikata clan. Hikita. The last Satomi survivor is Princess Shizu, who goes into hiding to avoid meeting the same fate as her family. Left to wander on her own, she eventually becomes entangled with the farmer-turned-soldier Shinbei, and then a pair of warrior monks who reveal themselves to be two of the 8 fabled Hakenden, or dog warriors, who can lift the curse that has been placed upon their family. Together they must find the rest of the Hakenden and take the leader of the Hikita clan, the evil Tamazusa. Following a message from space, which transported the story to a science fiction setting that came out from Shout Factory, and I feel like Arrow, maybe another. It's got a couple releases. Interesting film with Vic Morrow. Science fiction setting. Legend of the Eight Samurai is Fukasaku's second loose adaptation of Toshi Kamada's Shin Satomi Hakenden, itself an adaptation of Kyokute Bakin's earlier epic novel Nanso Satomi Hakenden. Masters of Cinema is proud to present the film on Blu-ray for the first time in North America from a new 4K restoration. 1080p on Blu-ray, presentation on Blu-ray from a brand new 4K, uncompressed Japanese audio and an alternate English dub track, optional English subtitles, new audio commentary by Japanese cinema expert Joe Hickenbottom, new interview with Kinji Fukasaku's son, filmmaker Kenta Fukasaku, and new video essay by film historian and critic Stuart Galbraith IV. Plus a collector's booklet featuring a new essay by Tom Mess, co-founder of Midnight Eye. So that is Legend of Eight Samurai. Then we have The Daredevil's Ode to Gallantry. And this one from 1982, I believe. And says that during his long and industrious career, the godfather of Hong Kong cinema, Chang Che, made several films with the celebrated Venom mob, a group of skilled martial arts performers, including Lu Feng, Chiang Sheng, Philip Kwok, Sun Qian, Lo Mang, and Wei Pak, who rose to fame as stars of his own 5 Deadly Venoms. Here, Eureka Classics presents 2 of the Venom mob's best, The Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry, 2 separate films. Set in Republic-era China, the Daredevils follows Yang Tae-ying, Lo Mang, as he sets out to avenge his father, military commander who was murdered in cold blood by Han Pei-sang, Wan Lik, a thief-turned-soldier who killed Yang's father along with the rest of his family to take control of his estate and his army. With the help of his friends, Chang Feng, Fu Kuan-yi, and Jing Zhang, he sets out for justice. Then in Ode to Gallantry, a lone martial artist named Mongrel is continually drawn into an intense struggle between several warring martial arts clans after he stumbles back across the Iron Token, which entitles the owner to have any wish granted by Ji Yankee. a brutal kung fu master. After forming in 1978 for Five Deadly Venoms, the Venom mob made over a dozen films with Chang-Chi that featured at least 3 of their number in starring roles, filled with thrilling action set pieces and some of the most talented martial arts to emerge in the 1970s. The Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry are 2 of the finest among them. Limited to 2,000 copies, 1080p on Blu-ray from masters supplied by Celestial Pictures, original mono audio, optional English subtitles, newly translated. Doesn't sound like there's a dub here. 2 new commentaries by East Asian film expert Frank Zhang and martial artist and filmmaker Michael Worth. And then 2 new commentaries by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arnie Venema. Deadly Venom's new interview with Hong Kong cinema scholar Wayne Wong on the Venom mob, plus a limited edition collector's booklet featuring new writing by writer and critic James Oliver. So that is the Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry. Let's see here. One more from Eureka. We have The Adventurers. And this film is from oh, wait a minute. Is this from 2010? Possibly. Okay, so this one, let's see here. An explosive story of heroic bloodshed featuring Andy Lau and Rosamund Kwan, presented on Blu-ray from brand new 2K restoration. Wai Lokyan was just 8 years old when his parents were killed before his eyes in Cambodia, where his father had been working for the CIA during Pol Pot's ascent to power, and in the latter days of the Cambodian Civil War. Taken to Thailand by his father's colleague Sung, Yan grows up to join the Thai Air Force and comes to discover that his father's murderer, Ray Liu, once a double agent, now has become a wealthy arms dealer in the United States. With the help of the CIA, Yan intends to get close to Liu and have his revenge by taking on an assumed identity and gaining the trust of Liu's daughter, Crystal. But first he will need to go undercover in San Francisco's criminal underworld to rescue from the clutches of the Vietnamese Black Tiger Gang. Made shortly before Ringo Lam departed from Hollywood to make Maximum Risk with Jean-Claude Van Damme, The Adventures is a hidden gem among the many heroic bloodshed films in Hong Kong during the 1990s, so it's not 2010. Eureka Classics is proud to present the film on Blu-ray for the first time in North America from a brand new 2K restoration. 2,000 copies, original Cantonese mono and DTS 5.1, optional English subtitles, newly translated. New audio commentary by film critic David West. 2 Adventurers. New interview with Gary Bettinson, editor of East Asian Cinema Journal. Previously unseen archival interview with writer and producer Sandy Shaw, plus a limited edition collector's booklet featuring a new essay by Hong Kong cinema scholar Aaron Han and Han Jun Magnan Park. That is The Adventurers. Then we have quite a few here from 88 Films, who have just a vast collection of Asian films that they continue to put on disc, which is very respectable. This one is from 1986. It is called Yakuza Wives, and it says, while her husband is in prison doing time, Tamaki, the wife of Yakuza Capo, runs her spouse's gang with an iron hand. Meanwhile, Makato, her younger sister, marries a member of a rival band after being raped by him. The 2 sisters, united by blood ties but married to enemy Yakuzas, will ultimately have to decide whose side they're on. Definitely setting up the drama early there with that description. Sounds fascinating to me. This is got a limited edition booklet, limited edition individually numbered Obi strip, original and newly commissioned artwork by Sean Longmore, Stills Gallery, original mono audio with new English subtitles. Yeah, so not a ton of features here, but you do get a booklet essay with it. And that is Yakuza Wives from 88 Films. Then we have also from 88 Films, Jacoman and Tetsu. And this one is from 1964. Jacoman and Tetsu is an early action masterpiece from Kinji Fukasaku. Again, bringing Kinji Fukasaku back into it here. Adapted from a script written by legendary Akira Kurosawa, which is very cool. Set in 1947 in a small coastal village among the majestic snowy landscapes of Japan's northernmost island of Hokkaido, Ken Takakura is Tetsu, the prodigal son who returns from war to help out his father Kyubei with the family herring fishing business. His arrival coincides with that of a one-eyed miscreant named Jacoman, played by Tetsuro Tamba, who bears a long-standing grudge against Kyubei and is intent on causing as much mayhem as the hordes of seasonal fishermen as possible. High definition Blu-ray in 235, original mono audio with new English subtitles, audio commentary by Tom Mess and Jasper Sharp, brand new filmed introduction by Mark Schilling, stills gallery, booklet essay by Chris D, newly commissioned artwork by Sean Longmore. So that is Yakuman and Tetsu. Continuing 88 Films Asian cinema releases, we have Lady with a Sword, and this one pretty cool looking, from 1971. And when her sister is attacked and murdered by swordsman Fang Fei, swordsman Fang Fei knows just what to do. Find the culprits and slice them up, but her righteous vengeance is compromised when she learns just who her target is, the man her parents have arranged her to marry. How unfortunate and complicated. But I love it. Strikingly directed by Cao Pao Shu, notable as one of the few women who handled martial arts movies, Lady with a Sword has an emotional power to match its outstanding fight scenes as justice, family loyalties, and inflexible tradition all collide. 88 Films are proud to present the UK Blu-ray premiere of a true feminist classic. High definition presentation. I just want to double check. Region A and B. Region A and B. All the Eurekas that I mentioned so far are Region A and B or Region A. And so are the 88 Films discs. Including this one, which is Region A and B. Audio commentary by with David West, limited edition fold-out poster, 2.0 DTS Mandarin soundtrack with newly translated subtitles, stills gallery, etc. That's Lady with a Sword. Then we have The Lady is the Boss. This one is from 1983. And it's a culture clash comedy with kung fu. A thoroughly Americanized young woman, Karen Hui, from the 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, returns to Hong Kong to visit the martial arts school founded by her father and shakes it up with some trendy new ideas, but not everyone is keen on her innovations, and a lesson she'll have to learn the hard way. Directed by and starring the great Lau Kar-leung, The Lady is the Boss blends fun and fighting as only he could, and those fights are some of the very best of his illustrious career. 88 Films are delighted to present the UK Blu-ray premiere of an action classic. Stills Gallery, limited edition O-ring trailer, 2.0 DTS HD Cantonese soundtrack with newly translated subtitles, 1080p presentation, 235-1, limited edition of set of 4 collector's art cards inside. So that's cool. This is Region A and B from 88 Films. Then we also have just a couple more here. We have An Amorous Woman of Tang Dynasty, and this one is from 1984. One of the last films produced at Hong Kong's legendary Shaw Brothers studio, and absolutely one of their finest, a visually ravishing and erotically charged story of a free-spirited female poet, Patricia Ha, who, frustrated by the conservative times in which she lives, refuses to behave in the ways nice young ladies are supposed to. Despite plentiful clothes-off action, this is so much more than a softcore romp, boasting an artistic ambition that the Shaw Brothers didn't always show in their kung fu movies. Directed with intelligence and real style by Eddie Fong Ling Chang, this is one of the major films from the Hong Kong's golden age. 88 Films are proud to present this essential masterpiece in the UK for the first time on Blu-ray. 1080p presentation, 235, trailer included 2.0 DTS Cantonese soundtrack with newly translated subtitles, limited edition O-ring, stills gallery, and a limited edition set of 4 collector's art cards as well included in this set. Region A and B. And lastly, we have Hong Kong, Hong Kong. This film from 1983. And there's much more to Hong Kong than cinema, than kung fu flicks. Hong Kong, Hong Kong is a social realist drama with a huge heart, following 2 lovers dreaming of a better life. Man Si's son is an illegal immigrant from the mainland, while Kong Young Sang is looking for glory in the kickboxing ring. Showing a world beyond the city's skyscrapers and millionaires, Clifford Choi's film won Best Screenplay at the prestigious Golden Horse Awards and was nominated for many others. Long recognized as a classic back home, 88 Films are proud to present the UK Blu-ray premiere of a Hong Kong masterpiece. Again, stills gallery, limited edition O-ring, 2.0 DTS HD Cantonese soundtrack, newly translated subtitles, 1080p 235-1, limited edition set of 4 collector's art cards, and the trailer all included. And this is also region A and B. So that'll do it for this catch up, this collection update with various things to discuss. Thank you for hanging around and continuing to subscribe and watch and comment. I appreciate it. It's been an interesting time for me, and so I'm trying to stay on top of doing these videos, and I appreciate those that are sticking around to watch them. I hope to still have one every Sunday, maybe eventually get to 2 a week again, but for now, I appreciate you hanging out with me every week. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.